that notification, we about to go live. Hit this track and do you dance like you Karen Lacey. Run it back and turn Matthew to the house, baby. It's Tingle and Co. From 7 to 9. Come keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. From 7 to 9. It's Tingle and Co. From 7 to 9, when you see that notification, we about to go live. Hit this track and do you dance like you Karen Lacey. Run it back and turn Matthew to the house, baby. It's Tingle and Co. From 7 to 9, come keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. From 7 to 9, it's Tingle and Co.
It's an all call. Good morning and welcome in here on this Wednesday morning as we're closing out
like
the
tigers.
month of October. Almost Halloween. You guys gonna dress up as?
Frank Wilson.
The LSU interim head football coach.
For now.
We appreciate everybody getting in here this morning and joining us here at Tingle & Co. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. And thank you for starting your morning with us. Christian, Lloyd, how are we feeling? How are we doing?
As good as I felt on Monday morning, this might be even better.
Yeah, that's not what I assumed.
That's a man that knows LSU football.
Just in general, just your happiness in life.
Pissing me off right now, but
That's I told you.
No, not you, not you.
Oh no.
Other people. He's getting fed up because he started a YB Lil Wayne debate on Twitter and he doesn't like
Yeah, he's gonna get dog walked.
No, I'm dog walking. It's just pissing me off how the unks just come to defend the most overrated rapper of all
We're
time.
not doing that. You're not.
Watch.
The chat's gonna do it. Look, all of our unks in the chat. I know my unks. He muted you.
You're not talking to
He
anyone.
muted you. But we appreciate everybody getting in here this morning. Obviously, if you missed it yesterday, I suggest you go back and check it out as Frank Wilson met with the media. And we've got some sound from that, I tell you what, because it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. They also put out a video LSU Football did on Twitter. It was about 6.5 minutes, 6 or 7 minutes, huh, Christian? 6.5 minutes long, where Frank talks about the job.
Do you see Lane do that?
Yeah. And it was good to hear and see the sit down that LSU put together. Thank you to LSU for putting that together. We will get into some of the sound from Frank Wilson's press conference yesterday, as it was an all-timer. Look, I think just to talk about the press conference in general, there was an energy about it. There was a vibe that was just better. Like Lloyd said, I mean, you could feel as happy as you wanted on Sunday night and Monday morning. There's no way you don't feel a little bit better after what you heard last night. And I don't think anyone's surprised that Frank Wilson impressed in the press conference setting. Because, I mean, what is he known for? He's known for recruiting, right?
That'd be Cruton.
And if you didn't know why Frank was such a good recruiter, tell me another place you'd want to play at after listening to his press conference yesterday. Like I said, we'll get into some of the sound from it this morning. And obviously after the show, go check out that video that LSU put together, because it was really good for just letting the world know that LSU is not crumbling after the firing of a head football coach. Because I think that's what a lot of people anticipate, is for the head football coach to be fired and it to only go downhill from there. And if anything, it feels like the exact opposite is going on right now. You've seen reports coming out from practice yesterday from the media members walking to the press conference that it was loud, it was exciting, players have said that they enjoyed the practice. From what I've been told, LSU will be having their first coaches meeting, entire staff meeting of the season at 8 a.m. this morning. For the first time, the entire coaching staff will be meeting at one time together at 8 a.m. this morning. Because prior it had been separated, coordinators had run offensive side, defensive side. This is the first time the staff will meet as a whole at 8 a.m. this morning.
That's gross.
That's no. What it's what it is great. It's gross that it hadn't been happening.
It's more gross than it is great, honestly. Could you imagine if there's if the White House didn't have a cabinet meeting or anything?
I mean, no.
Imagine if
that's essentially what it was. It's
the
gross.
governor didn't have meetings with his dude.
He
what?
probably doesn't.
It's gross.
Probably not, but
it's gross that it hadn't been happening. That there hadn't been staff meetings. But now that Frank Wilson is in charge,
you call meetings.
I know.
Yeah, that's okay.
And so that they will be having a full staff meeting at 8 a.m. this morning, and that's why there is a vibe that is just different around the program right now. That after a move like this,
Blake Baker, Alex Atkins.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Defensive coordinator.
Oh, okay, cool.
You're calling the plays.
New offensive coordinator for now. Okay, cool.
Glad we can
Great work you've been doing over there.
we
Look,
can get in this room together.
I'm excited to call plays.
Yeah. I mean, look. That is why in a time when you fire a head football coach, what you anticipate there to be fallout and there to be it to get messy, and you see decommitments and opt-outs and all this noise, and if anything, it's been the opposite. Like, as much as it was a mess with O when he got fired, I mean, you saw Aaron Anderson decommit and commit to Alabama. You saw these things start to tumble out where players are upset. And look, and not to, I also want to shine light on Colin Hurley's post yesterday, because if we're going to bring attention to some of the negative posts, we should also shine light on this. As Colin Hurley posted on his Twitter feed yesterday, in reference to Brian Kelly, I don't care what anyone has to say about this man. The impact he had on my life is something that can never be taken away from me. He loved me each and every day. He cared for me endlessly through my best days and my worst. I love you, Coach, forever. And it included 2 photos of him and BK together. And I think it's important for us to shine light on that as well. Not only the Matthew Langlois stories of the world, but also these, where you do see a positive impact between coach and player. But the vibe around the program right now is different. It's absolutely different. There is an excitement back around LSU football, especially after last night, after Frank Wilson's meeting with the media, his press conference yesterday. Lloyd, me and you were talking about it earlier in the week after Texas A&M, but also yesterday. What was your outlook on the next home game, the Arkansas game, coming out of Texas A&M?
I mean, there was some serious conversation going around the whether it be the section in which I sit for season tickets. People that don't miss games, people that go to every game would go to Western Kentucky just as much as they'd go to see Alabama play. When the Arkansas game came up during, I would say, the Texas A&M debacle, it was, I don't know if I'll be seeing you boys again this year. And everybody was pretty much on the same page. Like, I don't know. And these are, you and I had the same conversation of, I don't know if I was going to go. And that's two people. Look at what we do for a living.
Right.
There's not much or anything at all that would keep me from going to an LSU home game. I can count on one finger the amount I've missed or the amount I've left early. And it was about to be I'm all good.
Right.
And now
it's been
it is that place is got a good look finding a ticket.
Right. Like that is the difference. The excitement going into this final month of the season, from Saturday night, Sunday morning to now, is night and day. If you didn't see that press conference, we're going to play some clips from it this morning.
Cool.
Because
Kimberly lives in Ohio. Tunes into this show every morning. she wasn't even going to watch. And now,
Right.
like, that's
how
what
could you? And now, how could you not?
Because that could not have come talk about a breath of fresh air.
That's exactly what I said last night.
It could not have come at a better time, and that press conference could have been 24 hours, and I'd have watched it twice.
Right. No, I would.
I am beyond thrilled.
It was excellent, and I thought just the opening to it, just his opening statement when he came out there, and we can play that. It's clip number 4, Lloyd, where he steps up to the microphone and he gives his opening statement, and just really addresses what they just did as he comes off the practice field, and talks about where they're at going into the bye week, and in my opinion, shows the involvement that he has in what's going on, which has only been further confirmed by the fact that they're putting together the first full staff meeting of the season this morning. Like I said, there have been staff meetings. They've just been not the entire coach. The entire coaching staff will be meeting at 8 a.m. for the first time this season together. And that shows the involvement. And I thought that this opening statement that Frank gave when he first stepped up to the podium and talked about what they had just gotten off the field and done shows that same involvement.
None of these are labeled.
Just refresh and it should label them. It shows that involvement. It shows the involvement in what is going on at practice and his mindset and goals for where they're headed. Because, I mean, they've got 4 games left. They've got a month of the season remaining. Now, it's an open date this Saturday, but then you've got Alabama on the road. You come home for Arkansas. You've got Western Kentucky to get bowl eligible, and then you've got to go on the road once again. So here's Frank Wilson's opening statement from last night's press conference.
Well, first bye week practice was an exciting one. We just concluded what is a 20-play scrimmage with our football team. And it was an interesting piece because you had a part of it with our young guys as we try to develop our football team and give them valuable reps and an opportunity for evaluation. In today's what we call Tiger Bowl, fun-filled, exciting. And those guys who may not play a whole bunch on Saturdays got a chance to play a whole bunch today. Those guys who play on Saturdays got a chance to be encouraging and to be great teammates and to foster the camaraderie and team that we want for our football team. We started off the practice with a ton of individual being fundamentally sound, understanding that the difference in this game is truly interest and how we approach it and how we prepare in our everyday fundamentals makes a difference in this game. So during this bye week, there's 2 components to it. One of them that's fundamentally sound, that evolves or eventually gets to a schematic piece of being attention to detail. And then there's the other piece of our young guys who are going through the fundamentals as well, but those guys are competing. They're sharpening their skill set. They're bettering themselves so that we can get a good evaluation on. We can project where they are right now at this point of the season and the things that we need to do to continue to get them better. So that's a glimpse shot in what today's practice looked like for our football team.
Like I said, the word involvement, I mean, he gave you the full rundown and breakdown of not only what they did, but why they did it, who it involved, why, completely invested and involved in what's going on that practice field. Like that, it was a breath of fresh air just to hear him get to the podium and that be what was said.
No, we were at the point of these press conferences where we weren't even watching them, much less clipping them.
Not only not watching them, you could almost say what was going to be said.
Not only that, you could take a baseball bat to your television and still not feel satiated. This was the exact opposite of that. And I know sometimes we've been accused of putting too much stock into pressers, but this one, after 4 years of essentially rage bait,
Bullshit.
like this feels like there's not one clip that you're going to dislike, and it's everything we talked about what LSU was supposed to be about. He hit every high note.
I wish he'd went after Brian Kelly.
He did. If you listen, there it's very thinly veiled shots that are in there, and he can't do it publicly, and he won't because he's a man of high class, high character. But there's definitely some things in there that reference his time under Brian Kelly and what they were doing or not doing.
I think the whole thing is a diss because it's as much as it's just Frank being himself.
It sounds like this is what New Orleans rappers do.
This is what it's supposed to be, and that's why I love that first clip because and I don't want to make this a drag on BK thing because if anything it should be a praise Frank Wilson show.
Yes.
But I mean, some of the opening statements after practice that BK would have would be, all right, let's get the questions going.
Bring your Columbia jackets.
And for Frank to go in there, and obviously during the bye week, you want to make sure, especially his first meeting with the media, lay out what's going on. And he let them all know. And I thought that he did a very good job at discussing the current state of LSU football. I want to do clip 5, Lloyd, where he was asked about players opting out, because I think that's the first thought when something like this happens, when a coaching change occurs and a head coach is fired from a big program like LSU, is are players going to opt out? Obviously, other schools are going to try and put the bug in the ear and reach out to the aunt and the uncle and the dog walker. They're going to reach out to everyone they can. And you almost are getting ready for players to begin to opt out. And he was asked about that specifically yesterday, about if players had opted out, if he had been told anything of the sort. And then he went on to elaborate about the current state of LSU football.
Of any players opting out?
I have not.
Okay. And you built your career on building relationships, right? How important is that in a moment like this, fostering those relationships with those players, making sure those connections are as tight as ever, and why are you especially gifted for that in this moment?
Well, I think it's a testament to the quality of young men that we have that, they signed up to come to school here. They came at the helm of Coach Kelly as our head coach. And they were also committed to this university, and they were committed to one another. And I think when in a time that's perilous as this, that you back down the hatches, you go shoulder to shoulder, you go back to back, and you stand firm with one another in the commitment of what your intentions were from the beginning. And so it's kind of testimonial that we haven't had it. Has it been hard? Oh, yeah, it's been hard. It's been hard. It's an array of emotions, of feelings, of roller coaster. But we've been here for one another. So when the news broke Sunday, we were here together. We were here together again yesterday on Monday. We're here together again today on Tuesday and on Wednesday in the bye week, where at times that Sunday, that Monday, you would not have been together. We have bonded closer. We've taken up the slack for those who may not have been strong as others to be supportive of one another during this time. And so I think it's a testament of our student athletes and our coaching staff in this university, in this community. The biggest thing for us is to stay close, stay together, and let's finish what we've started.
Look, I mean, that answer, obviously, he continues on, and when he elaborates on the lack of opt-outs, and he says that a lot of times on weeks like this and in times like this, you don't spend that time together, and they made the concerted effort to spend time together.
That was also insane. Like the Christy, what do you talk about? Like, I wish you would have went more at the previous regime. Like, he's telling you everything. Like that, it's just more of in between the lines. Yeah,
I was talking the direct. I'm grateful for Coach Kelly. So.
Well, you got to say it.
No, there's.
He also talked about Pearl Harbor.
There's an answer in there. There's an answer in there when they asked about his relationship with BK and Joe Sloan. I think
fine. Every
single clip that I cut was about a minute and a half, minute 40 to 2 minutes.
15 seconds.
That answer was 12 seconds. But to continue on the point with
But-
Frank, like it's elaborating on, like we've talked about the roster and the collection of talent, and Frank is talking about a team, right? About a closeness and a relationship and spending time together. And if you're on the field, you're working on your skill and you're getting better. If you're off the field, you're supporting your teammate and you're leading and fostering that team environment where it's not just a roster or a collection of talent. When at this time in the season, when ultimately you don't have much to play for, and the best you can do is 9-3, which won't exactly get you into the playoff, you could see the team aspect start to dwindle. And in times like this where you lose back-to-back games and the head coach gets fired, it can all go haywire. And then you see the man that's put in charge not allowing that to happen. Frank Wilson, as the interim head football coach, is not allowing the crumble that can follow times like this to happen. Instead, he's building a stronger bond between the team. And it really is a breath of fresh air to hear him at that podium speak about LSU the way he is.
Well, and people are saying it in the chat. And like that clip says all you need to know about what was going on. Like they don't get together, and I don't understand it's a bye week, but I implore you to ask anybody that's ever played for LSU, whether it be under Les Miles, Nick Saban, what they did in a bye week on a Sunday and a Monday if they didn't go have a team meeting or see each other. It wasn't. And T-Bob has talked about this ad nauseum, where he's like, he saw the like some of the clips after the team meeting when Brian Kelly met with the team. He's like, at what point is it like how many G-Wagons can we have? And that's always been, you know, before it was allowed, it was like, look at all the Dodge Chargers in the parking lot.
Right.
I get that. People have their own things to do, and it's run more like a professional organization. But you have to have some sense of it is what you allow it to be. Is I guess how I'll put it. You can allow that stuff to happen where you're like, oh, everybody get up. You should want to be together. You should want to be like Sunday team dinner, Monday, whatever. Like
Right.
like be together not because you have to be, it's because you want to be. Like they talked about this for LSU baseball. After they won the national championship, they lost a sense of who the leader was, and that's what you saw happen in the gap year. And then they looked around and saw when like some of the previous players came back, like, bro, this is what you have to do. Like it's not hard,
Right.
but you have to do it early. And then they started having, before the season even started, it was like Sunday dinner every week at somebody's house. They would have people come over. They would have parts of the team come over. Everybody's invited. Whoever wants to show up, and it became more and more and more and more, and then it became tough and together. And then it becomes like you're my brother.
Right.
And that's how you win championships, is because it's not just we show up on Saturday, we show up to practice. It's you hang out outside of the building, and you actually have a relationship with your teammates, and then your teammates become your brothers, and then it's a lifelong deal. And that's part of what makes LSU special is, yes, winning helps all of that, but you have to put in the certain parts of the recipe to make winning taste good, to make
Right.
it palpable. You can't just show up and win. You can win on talent alone, and teams have done it. But it's a hell of a lot easier when you're all together and know exactly what you want to do and have your lockstep in your mission.
I agree. And right now, where LSU is at, it's such an important time to make sure.
Oh, it could fall apart.
That 100%. And that's why, and I know some people laughed at maybe the Pearl Harbor movie or documentary answer, and we can play that clip. It's number 10. But it symbolizes something bigger, which is like Frank said, this is a response, right? This is a time where you have to let the country kind of know who LSU is, because we have said, and Frank even said it yesterday, the program is what? It's bigger than any one man, right? And so if the firing of Brian Kelly led to the crumble of the program, that wouldn't be the case. And so now is a response to that call. And this is Frank Wilson talking about the response that they had at practice yesterday.
I think they'll respond well. I'll share something we did today. I was watching quite some time ago when we got bombed at Pearl Harbor, and the sirens went off. And that sound effect, and it was an alert. It was a all call. It was a rally call for us to come together. We emulated that today for our football team. And as those sirens went off for the rally call, our team merged together at the 50-yard line. We held up all 4 of our fingers in both hands. We chanted fourth quarter. We chanted finish. Because we're all in. We're all in to finish what we've started. And some of that celebration, some of that noise, if you will, was simply our football team answering to the rally call, being there for one another in a tough situation when, if you will use an analogy, we've been invaded.
Look, and this is also a credit to Frank Wilson once again, going up to the podium and doing a could be laughable with probably any other person doing it, but Frank Wilson doing it. I'm balled in. I hear the siren. I hear the all call. The time for the response.
Where am I driving to? Wherever I was going, if it wasn't the right way, I'm turning around.
And that's the part that I love, because you can tell he's not like that. Wasn't for show. He didn't just use the Pearl Harbor example just to get a punchline for a clip. Clip that, chat.
It is foreshadowing. Because he wants to nuke the rest of the teams they play.
There you go. And
it's also
Oh no.
a revision of what was happening.
It was also the fall of the Third Reich.
had been invaded. Okay, calm down.
LSU had gotten invaded by an outsider.
And my favorite part of the whole thing is you can tell he genuinely means it. Like he didn't do it for show. It wasn't just to impress anybody. It was like, no, this is why we did it. You hear that siren, you response. We merged together at the 50-yard line, and we agreed to finish what we started. It was a message that he gave, and it was received. And look, of course there's coach speak in any press conference. The part about Frank, though, that impresses me the most is that everything he says has that passion. Because he's doing it with those 3 letters on his chest. Like he loves LSU. He absolutely loves this university, this state, this community, this team, this program, in the same way that everyone in this room, everyone in that chat, and everyone in Death Valley cares about it. And I think that's the biggest breath of fresh air when it comes to Frank Wilson right now, is that every answer he gives, whether it's coach speak or not, you can see the passion that he has behind it.
It's genuine.
It's absolutely genuine.
And what was the first thing I said? Whenever this was announced, I don't think he's going to waste much time to get former players back in the building.
They were in the building yesterday. Right, because this is who LSU is. This is who LSU has always been. It's bigger than just one man. And I think Frank did a really good job yesterday of addressing that.
And you talk about a breath of fresh air for us. Imagine being them. I couldn't even get in the doors. The place I built.
Right.
There's a reason, Brian Kelly, your fingerprint didn't work whenever you tried to get in the building. They couldn't wait to scrape your fingerprints off of that thing.
Oh, it was a mistake. It was an accident.
Bro, you're cooked.
Later.
And now, guess whose fingerprints do work? The people that fingerprints are all over the program.
Yeah.
And to let them, not even let them, like that should have never been taken away. And it's an indictment on the previous regime and the powers that be to let that be. Like that should have been a non-starter. And of course, what did Ed Orgeron do the first time he got the job? Remember that first Tiger Walk? It was everybody you've ever seen. If you smelled the jersey, you were coming down the victory hill with him.
And that's, I think, why the excitement around that Arkansas game is so high.
Oh,
is because it's almost going to it's going to be like this beautiful moment where it's just. Oh, like this is
hallelujah!
This is back. It's beautiful, and
this is what the program is.
This is who LSU is.
Nobody's less excited than what is it? Patino? Which
Bobby
one?
Petrino.
Nobody's less excited about that presser than Bobby Petrino, and I would imagine Hunter Hall. I would imagine Alabama.
Anybody that's left on LSU's schedule that was licking their chops at a wounded Tiger is no longer in that mindset. Now, look, is Alabama still going to be favored and probably a heavy favorite? Yeah. They are nowhere near as comfortable as they were 72 hours ago.
And they're going to have to explain to Kalen DeBoer what just happened. It ain't going to be that LSU that you watched on tape. Yeah. Oh, I would imagine, like, if
DeBoer's smart, he'll call. If DeBoer's smart, he'll call Nick Saban, and Nick will be like,
"Get ready."
Okay.
Really, he's doing siren sounds at the presser. Like, this ain't going to be what you thought it was.
And just some of the messages he gave. Well, this is clip 9, Lloyd, of the way Frank talks about this university. And there's a handful of them in here that I want to kind of run through quickly, or as quickly as Frank will allow, with his beautiful articulated answers. Where he talked about the message to recruits, to the current team, and to the fan base. It was refreshing to hear him talk about it. Here is Frank Wilson, not
no.
BK. Oh, God, I'm so glad I don't have to say that anymore. Here is Frank Wilson giving the message that has been pushed out and regurgitated about where LSU is currently standing.
Yeah, one day at a time, right? And they range, they range in emotions, and they're delicate. And they require real conversation and real care and straight talk and honest talk and transparency. And in those moments, I think when you go about doing business that way, there's tremendous appreciation, there's clarity that at least they know. And we've tried to conduct our business in that manner so that the people in the building understand this is where we're at. This is the short term. This is what we're hopeful for, all right? But this is where we're at right now. Let's be the best version of us right now. And maybe, and just maybe, we can do enough that could affect the outcome of the future. But we have no control of that. All we can do is deal with what's in present time and real time and being the best version of us.
That is the LSU message, and the next one is the LSU pitch.
What did he say?
Clip 7.
Straight talk,
straight talk,
honesty,
honest talk, transparency.
That's
what it takes. If you want the players to go out there and be accountable for you, you have to be accountable to them, and that starts with straight talk, honest talk, and transparency.
Little bull, Brandy.
That's the message to the team, and this is clip 7, Lloyd. This is the LSU pitch. Because that's the next thing is you haven't seen what you've actually seen is a commitment in the wake of all this. You have not seen a decommitment. You've seen recruits go out there and say that LSU is bigger than you commit to LSU for LSU. This is Frank telling the recruiting pitch and the way that it will be laid out in this current standing of LSU football.
So without getting too deep into the weeds, from a compliance standpoint in recruiting, the business is taking care of our team, our current team. And I think the more that we do that, they become your testimonials. And so what happens is the recruit called Johnny, who's on the team. And what's the status? What's going on with the team? We're good. We got a plan. We had a great practice today. How are you? Man, I play this weekend. So now when coach calls prospective student athlete who's talked to current player and they see, they feel, they hear stability, we're good. They're less likely to panic because they're the host of these recruits when they come on campus, when they came on their official visit, when they were here Saturday. And I think a lot of that resonates, that when your team has a good feel, I think it resonates to the recruit. And it could be the opposite, right? If they were in total disarray, uncomfortable, uncertain, I think that could affect the recruiting class as well. And so from a peer standpoint, I think our student athletes that are currently on our team have been testimonials for those recruits. I think those recruits do have questions. The good thing is we have answers. And so in those conversations, it's allowed us at this point to be stable, to hold our class intact, and we feel confident that we'll be able to continue to do so.
I'm getting a little emotional right now. I started to tear up during that because that was maybe the best answer of the entire press conference, because he laid out in front of you the dynamic of how this works and the fact that, and this is why Frank Wilson is Frank Wilson and why he's one of the greatest recruiters, if not the greatest of all time, is because he knows how it works. He knows the process. I've got to address it with my team first because
it's a trickle
that's
down.
who they're going to call. And I'll throw out names because I don't have compliance. Lamar Brown is going to call Keelan Moses. They played football together for 3 years, and probably much more than that. They were on Keelan was his host when he was on as a recruit. And I have no truth. I don't know if he actually called Keelan. I'm just making an educated guess of high school teammates.
If Frank
Hey,
Wilson,
hey, Keelan, what's the vibe like over there? Marius, it's Frank. That is the dynamic. That's exactly how it works. And you know who knows that? Frank Wilson, obviously, and now he's making sure you know that as well. So you address your team first. They regurgitate to the recruit, and then
the message
it's
becomes
in great
much.
hands.
The message becomes much more clear.
Yes.
It went from, "Oh, we're gonna get this thing figured out. Don't worry," to, "Because we good, come through."
Right.
Like this is different, and if I don't know how anybody has ever said no to Frank
Me
Wilson.
neither.
Don't let he came on the show and told a story of how whenever Duke Riley was getting recruited by Bradley Dale Pivito, and Frank Wilson called, and Bradley Dale and Duke Riley looked at it and said, "It's Frank, I have to take this." He goes, "Put it on speaker." And Bradley Dale listened to Frank Wilson give a recruiting pitch over the phone and watched Duke Riley commit in front of him to a man that wasn't even in the room. Like, that's the weight and gravity and conviction in which he speaks, to where don't let Frank around.
Right.
Because he will get whatever recruit you thought you were going to get. If he wants him, he gets him. And it's because of he ain't selling you no bullshit.
No, it's because, and that's why, like I say, the best salesman is the salesman that actually genuinely believes in the product. You've seen salesmen pitch you products
I
that
just got
they don't
pitched for
care
4
about.
years.
Right.
On something that I knew more about.
Right.
And I was like, you don't even know what you're talking about.
You've seen a salesman try to sell you a product that they don't really know what it is.
Or believe in.
What you're watching right now is a man that eats, sleeps, and breathes.
Brother, I got the
LSU
patent.
football program. Like,
I invented this.
and this next clip, it's clip 3, Lloyd. That is him talking about LSU and talking about how this is different. And this is the last one I want to play because it is once again another great example of Frank just showing you his heart, his love, and his passion for this job, for this program, for this school, for this state. And it's why LSU football is in such great hands.
I think it's important to our state. I think it's important. You put it this way. I was a head coach at another university in this state. I left that university as the head coach to come back here, right? And I chose to. I chose to come back here because it's a very, very unique place. That there's no place like LSU. I've worked at universities in this conference, around this country, and there's something about the people here. And so when you speak of LSU, you can talk about the beautiful stadium, the Pantheon, right? The concrete, this beautiful facility that we're in. But LSU's not bricks and mortar. It's the people. It's the people that make LSU what it is. And we live and we thrive in a people society that as we evoke into relationships, it cuts deep. And so it's totally different than another school where you just go to work. That you become a part of it. It becomes a part of you. And it's the people in this building, it's the people in this community, it's the people in this state that gravitates, that pulls you in. And it's why we say forever LSU. Because it's not just a job. For me, for many. That's about as simple as I can say it.
Mike, drop. I mean, I tell you what, that is a man, like I said, that eats, sleeps, breathes LSU football. And you just heard it right there. I couldn't have put it any more beautifully than he just did. He's a leader of men, and not just the standpoint, he is in general, but it's at a different level here because he loves this place. LSU holds the same place in his heart that it holds in everyone in that stadium. And that's the reason why he is so easy to root for. And I think that's why the narrative before yesterday and coming out of that press conference are so different. He won a lot of people over last night in front of that podium. Everyone that listened to that, there's no way you're not rooting for Frank Wilson in these next 4 games and potentially the future. And obviously, I don't know the direction LSU is going to go with the coaching or whatever. You've got to consider Frank after that, after the way he laid it all out there. And there's a lot of discourse because it did pick up. The chatter picked up on social media last night after that press conference of,
damn,
I kind of want Frank to be the head coach. Because of that, because you can feel the emotion, and obviously what happens in these 4 games is going to play a factor, but I guarantee you're going to see a motivated and inspired football team. But the response from some others to that new the thought process of Frank getting the deal was, he's been a head coach before and it wasn't very good. But there's a lack of context in that situation, in that point. At UTSA, he didn't have the support. The reason not all jobs are made equal. We know that. UTSA had to take his team to Dick's Sporting Goods to get equipment, to make sure they could get their helmets and pads. They had to load the team bus and go to Dick's. At McNeese, you want to know the hand he was dealt? In 2020, you had to go through something called COVID, and to follow that up, a devastating hurricane for that community, that city, and that school that he had to try to recover from. He laid the foundation at UTSA by bringing in top recruiting classes there and building that program from a place where you had to go get your equipment at Dick's to a winning program from the foundation he laid. And at McNeese, he was dealt the toughest hand possible. A nationwide pandemic and then a devastating hurricane right after. And I'm not saying that after that press conference, Frank needs to be named the head football coach. But let's add some context to where he was at before here. And it's a little bit different in Baton Rouge. What you're witnessing right now with all of these answers is a man that loves LSU, a man that eats, sleeps, and breathes this state. He's a leader of men. And when we talk about fit, I don't think there's a man on the planet that fits it better. And to look back at those head coaching stops at UTSA and at McNeese and say that he's not qualified for LSU because he didn't win with the rough hands he was dealt. Imagine him with all of these resources and players and the talent. And that's the part I'm most excited about, is a leader of men that loves this university, this community, this state, going out there with the talent that's on this football team, and the fact that he is not just treating it as if it's a collection of talent. It's a team, and he's creating a team. When that Pearl Harbor siren goes off, it's a response from a team. You meet at the 50-yard line. You merge at the 50-yard line. So don't use the UTSA and McNeese stops to discredit Frank Wilson and who he is as a football coach, because you're witnessing it right there. He's a leader of men. And we've seen how interesting interim head football coaches that love this state and this university can make these decisions. Right? I think we witnessed it in 2016, huh? Was Ed O qualified from his head coaching stops prior?
And that's part of it. Like, we've talked about people that have had this job that maybe look at their resumes previously. You look at Nick Saban's before he got here. You look at Les Miles before he got here. They're not sterling. They're not like, that's the best coach you can go get him. Ed Orgeron is case in point of failed stops. And you don't have – Ed Orgeron failed at the SEC level. He failed at places that had resources. Frank was given a job at which, like, that's not even a program. Go build it. And it was looked at as, without context, it was looked like, oh, he went 26-40. But if you look at the stops and where they were after, he left those places better than what they were before. And at LSU, what have we been saying since Brian Kelly has been given the boot? It was care like I care.
Right.
Understand what the university is.
Right.
Nobody gets it more than Frank. And I don't even know if Frank Wilson wants to be the head coach of this program after. I think and they talked about it a little bit during the presser where he said, when there's a call to action for the mother university, you answer the call.
Right.
And it's not something that I don't think this is him trying to pitch himself as the future head coach for LSU, because when he was asked it, that's not something that he was doing. This is just the way the man speaks about LSU. Like, this is my job right now because I was asked to do it. And when they come calling, you answer. And I don't know what his future is or what his aspirations at LSU are, but I know it's at LSU.
Right.
Regardless if it's head coach or back to being whoever takes the job, if it's not him, don't let that man hit the door.
You can't. And Hunter Hall asked the question in the chat. We talk about what the blueprint is at LSU. How aware is Frank of that blueprint? Frank is the blueprint. You want to talk about how aware? And it was a good question by Hunter, and it was kind of a lob. He's maybe the most aware of that blueprint. He went down the list yesterday of names, or he said Sam Nader, Jerry DiNardo, Coach Saban, Coach Miles, the guys that have laid out the blueprint, right? He's just following suit and expounding upon that. This man eats, sleeps, and breathes LSU football. And we're going to continue this conversation with one of the media members that was in the press conference yesterday. Glenn West is going to join us in about 5 minutes to open up hour number 2. And so we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with Big Glenn West from 247 Sports to continue the conversation on LSU football right after this.
Wardos was created in honor of Alan Ward Branning III, fondly known by family and friends as Wardo. In 2019, the oldest brother of the tribe passed away unexpectedly. His remaining siblings and loved ones wanted to honor his memory in a special way. In 2022, Ward's family decided to combine the need for a sandwich shop in downtown Natchez with a desire to pay tribute to Ward's love of good friends, good times, and great food. Through blood, sweat, tears, and countless hours of hard work, Wardo's was born. So go visit Wardo's today at 309 North Broadway Street in Natchez, where the po' boys are so good, you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
Hey, Miss Lou, come visit us, Tom and Wright Granding at Go Martin on the Go Deli.
Go Martin has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need.
Located at the corner of Highland Boulevard and Highway 61 South in Natchez.
Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff,
where everyone is family.
When it comes to your home, the roof over your head matters. At CAS Roofing, we don't just install shingles, we build peace of mind. With years of experience and a commitment to craftsmanship, our team shows up on time, gets the job done right, and treats every project like it's our own home. Whether it's repair, a replacement, or storm damage that caught you off guard, CAS Roofing is ready. We're local, we're dependable, and we stand behind every nail, every shingle, and every promise we make. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about roofing, it's about protecting what matters most. CAS Roofing, built on trust, backed by quality.
LSU is going to be looking for a new head coach.
Season 4 for Brian Kelly started with high expectations and it ended last night.
They expect not only to compete for national championships, they expect to win national championships. Frank Wilson, LSU's associate head coach and running back coach, will take over on an interim basis.
I could not be more grateful or excited about the opportunity that's before us, and I'm going to do my very best to get LSU back in its rightful place, one game at a time, one day at a time, to see where that gets us. I think Coach Kelly was the right coach at the right time, considering the prior season and season before that. Just really put us in position to upgrade our standard of what we were trying to accomplish. We had won a national title and came off that and had 2 difficult seasons. And still we needed some structure, we needed some stability. at a time when our program was reeling a little bit. I think he gave us that. He gave us a new outlook on things that were pivotal into student athletes' life. I think an awful lot of Coach Kelly. He's a good man who had good intentions on bringing this program to a national championship contention. We fell short of that, but that doesn't take away from the man that he is. He's been good to me. He's been good to my family. He allowed my son to be a part of this program, which was a dream come true, and you don't take things like that for granted. Professionally, for me to be able to come back to Louisiana, to come back to LSU for a second stint was extended by Coach Kelly, so I'm forever grateful for that opportunity as well. For me, it's a dream come true. I was born here. I was raised here. I lay my head here. This is our flagship state institution. It means the world to me to be able to have the opportunity to help LSU, to serve this state. I spent a lifetime from that of an FCS grad assistant, student assistant, to being a high school assistant coach, a high school head coach, to a high school athletic director, to coming here in the capacity of an assistant coach that became an associate head coach, and an extreme honor, privilege, very grateful, humbled to serve this state. Our sport is a unique one. It's the ultimate team sport, that you cannot do it by yourself, although you have individual one-on-one matchups that culminates the team as a whole. And so I think our team understands that we're all we got, but we're all that we need, and that together we can accomplish everything that we still desire. We have 4 games remaining in this season to go put our best foot forward, to put out our best body of work, and let's see where the chips fall after that. You know, for us today was giving stability and security. So for us on offense, we've tweaked some responsibilities. Tim Rattay will assume the quarterback duties for our offensive staff. Alex Atkins will serve as the play caller on game day for us. And Corday Hankton, our assistant running back coach, will go into the role as the running back coach going into these final 4 games. For us in a day like today is to reflect, to correct the things from our last outing where we finished second, to be better at those things and to learn from them. For the duration of the week to be fundamentally sound from an individual perspective, with a ton of work being earmarked for individual, to look at our young guys and continue to develop them. Those guys who don't get an opportunity to play on Saturday, to put them in scrimmage formats so that we can develop the depth of our football team. And so at the back end of these practices on Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll get after it with our young, very talented recruits that may not have played a lot of football. And so it's development for those guys. It's continuous, fundamentally sound work for our veteran players. So my message to recruits and commits is to understand that LSU is who you thought it was, and it will continue to be for a lifetime. Everything that you've ever dreamed of, everything that you've ever wanted, LSU is that. This university is unique in so many ways, in so many capacities. And when you chose LSU, you chose an institution of higher learning to earn a degree, to broaden your horizon, to compete in the classroom as well as on the field. I think you get that at LSU. LSU will get the best and the brightest to get it back in its rightful place, and that is for national championship contentions. Nothing has changed. LSU, the brand, is as big and as global as any other brand in America. Choosing LSU was the reason you came here, and it'll continue to be so. Yeah, I think it's critical that we have the support of our fan base. The beautiful thing is former players, outreach, as well as fans, and the last 24 hours have been outstanding. We're excited, they're excited that what we have in front of us. The reality is, though, as I spoke about earlier, LSU is bigger than bricks and mortar. that it's people, and the people that make us extremely unique. And so when you go into Tiger Stadium, we cannot do it without our fan base. I think we have the best fan base in America. Young men need them. They lean on them for their support, for their rally cry. I anticipate when we come back to Tiger Stadium to take on Arkansas, we'll be in full numbers, excited to support our Tigers.
My name is Noah Tingle, and I support that message. I mean, that was a beautifully done by LSU media, beautifully done by Frank Wilson. And we are joined by one of the media members that was in the press conference, well, part of the press conference yesterday, as Frank Wilson met with the media for the first time as the interim head football coach. Glenn West of Go 24/7 joins us this morning. Glenn, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Hey guys, how are you doing? Had enough to talk about these last couple days?
Yeah, no, actually, we've been scraping by, trying to find some content.
Frank Wilson,
and these
PSAs.
open dates will get you, man.
Perfect timing. Thank you, LSU.
Yeah.
But I'll just get started with yesterday's press conference before we dive into everything else. What was the vibe like in that room as Frank met with the media for the first time as the interim head football coach?
Yeah, I kind of turned to one of our other beat reporters, Scott Ravel, who works for the Advocate, afterwards, and he just kind of looked over at me and said, "Man, that sure sounded like a sermon to me." He was preaching up there. I really thought he knocked it out of the park yesterday. I thought he gave all the right messages that you'd want to hear if you're an LSU fan. Whether it's the stuff he mentioned about recruiting, about this team, and about how they're going to continue to fight for one another, and things of that nature. And the way that he conveys that message, I think, is really, really unique and important for this group in particular. Because look, they're going through it from right now, from an adversity standpoint. From now until the end of the season, there's going to be a lot of unknowns about what the future holds for a lot of these coaches and a lot of these players. But I think the fact that they were able to get back on the practice field on Tuesday, and as I'm walking into that building, they practice right next door to where you get to meet with the coaches for the press conference, and they were loud and they were proud. I mean, that's all I can really kind of tell you about what I was hearing. I mean, they were very encouraging. There was a lot of yelling and screaming, and just it sounded like a team that was energized and rejuvenated to some degree, just to be back out on the field after what was, I'm sure, a tumultuous 48 hours for the program and for those players. So I'm excited to see what Frank can do here with this opportunity. I think that he is the guy, the perfect person for this moment to kind of get LSU through the rest of this season and go from there. I mean, I don't have any illusions right now that he's kind of a serious contender for this job, but you see how the players respond to him, and you see the message that he conveys. And if he's only I would imagine that's maybe about 25% of the message that he gave to the media. I can't imagine what these players and what these coaches are hearing kind of behind the scenes and behind closed doors. So he's a great communicator and somebody who I think is right for this position.
When was the last time you heard anything coming out of that building walking to a presser that sounded like it did yesterday?
Yeah, it's been a little while. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like you hear the music blasting when it's they're preparing for road games and things of that nature. You could hear coaches and you could hear players screaming at the top of their lungs and things of that nature. But it just felt like a more collective group, and I think he called it a war cry yesterday. They met at the 50-yard line and they had this kind of rally, this rally message, which was they held up four fingers and they said fourth quarter finish. Like that's their motto here for the rest of the season, and it's apropos because they are in the fourth quarter of their season. They have 4 games left. They have an opportunity to do something here that's really special if they kind of keep their mind and their focus on the one game ahead, the 1-0 mindset, I guess, if you will. And we'll see kind of what happens and go from there. But I think this team has talent too. Like, it's not like this team just lost the talent overnight either. I mean, like they've been knocked, they've been hit in the mouth, and their long-term goals for this season are certainly out the window. But I don't think that means they can't go and win some big games here down the stretch. I think they have enough talent to really compete, and we'll see kind of what that product looks like this time a week from now.
And you brought up that 48-hour stretch from Saturday through Sunday, and when the announcement was made, what was your thoughts after the game on Saturday, and then going throughout the day on Sunday, where it kind of seemed like in the morning it was like, okay, there might be some changes. Then the day goes on, it's like it sounds like something. I think it's happening, and Brian Kelly ultimately gets fired. That 48 hours from your standpoint, what was it like?
Yeah, it was a wild and crazy time. I think watching that second half on Saturday, maybe in the back of my mind, you're thinking, okay, if it continues to go this way throughout the rest of the regular season, at the end of the year, there can be some conversations about what Brian Kelly's future is, and about where the future of the program is. But I thought that was an end of the year conversation. I was with you guys. I was like, well, I think we're going to probably see some offensive changes tomorrow. I think we're probably going to see kind of the first step of maybe the breakdown of the program in terms of just the coaching side of things. But they ripped the Band-Aid off quick, man. And by late morning, mid-afternoon, we were hearing that it wasn't just offensive coordinator Joe Sloan who was in trouble, but the top dog himself. And, it was a wild Sunday afternoon of just trying to chase down anything you could to try to get some clarity on this thing. I think for a while, it didn't feel like it was going to reach any final decisions until maybe a day or two later, because it sounded like they were still negotiating some things in terms of, having conversations about the buyout and just what that looks like. And I think those are still ongoing. Like, I don't think that we've heard anything here in the last 24 hours about what that ultimately will be for Brian Kelly. I would imagine that he gets most of it if he doesn't take another job somewhere else. But I also think that there's an angle to this that the powers that be were just they were just tired of watching that product, and they were tired of watching the offense and the defense and the special teams just consistently not come together and lead to some of these big losses. And when you're losing 49-25 in your own building against a Texas A&M team that you have, really kind of, constructed a pretty heated, intense rivalry here over the last 7 or 8 years. When that program comes in here and they take over Tiger Stadium, and by the end of the game, those guys are hooping and hollering, with their chants and things of that nature in Death Valley. I think that was probably the straw that broke the camel's back there, because they were absolutely taking over that game on Saturday. And I think a lot of the big time decision makers saw that. They didn't think that this was going to be something that could be rectified, and they just decided to rip the Band-Aid off on Sunday, and that's where we are.
Do you think that there will be a point in time when Texas A&M looks back at that and says we might have made a massive mistake?
I'm sorry, you cut out there a little bit. What did you say?
Do you think Texas A&M looks back at that and goes, we may have made a massive mistake by dancing on the grave of Tiger Stadium?
I don't think so. I think they should be feeling themselves right now. They've gone back-to-back years where they've blown LSU out. I mean, they did it last year in the second half, and they did it this year in the second half as well. I mean, I can't see the future. I can't know what these LSU teams are going to look like in the foreseeable future. I mean, I know from just my past experience that you don't. When LSU's down, they don't stay down forever. And I think that this next coach, whoever that may be, will come in with a blank check to really put the kind of people around him that he wants, and the kind of roster that he needs to be a contender. So I'm very interested to see where that process goes. But yeah, I mean, they very well could. I mean, they've got a great thing going, though, with Mike Elko. You can't deny that. They have been really one of the more consistent teams throughout the entirety of the country this year, and it looks like they're on their way to a really bright season.
I just don't know if they don't make it such a spectacle that maybe the powers that be pass the hat during the third and fourth quarter the way that they did. Because...
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, nothing else to add to that except, it's a very fair observation there.
What I'll ask is, what do you expect the next time LSU is in Death Valley to look like? Obviously, against A&M, like we've said, it was pretty embarrassing down the stretch of that game, what the stadium looked like, along with what was on the field. But I think there's a level of excitement that has been brought back by Frank Wilson over, especially after last night, about what Death Valley could be when Arkansas comes to town in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I think they'll show up. This is a little bit different than the last time they made the coaching change because, Coach O, ran through the rest of the season as the head coach. They didn't go to an interim guy. They just said, hey, Coach O is going to finish out the season, and then we're going to make a change. If I can remember that year, there were still some pretty good fan, responses, and they kept coming to the games and things of that nature. They actually beat A&M. I think that was maybe the beginning of the end of the Jimbo Fisher era there, where they kind of, I think, kept A&M from out of a New Year's Six Bowl by winning that game on the final play of the game a few years back. But I would imagine that the fans still show up. But look, to say that they're going to really show up in the hundreds of thousands for Arkansas and Western Kentucky, I think is maybe a little bit aggressive. But I think that they'll be engaged, and certainly, look, if you go to Tuscaloosa and you beat Alabama, then I think you really kind of get the fan base back on your side with this team, and just kind of the vibes that you can get by going in and being competitive and potentially winning that game. I think that can certainly help you with your home crowds here over the next couple weeks and the next couple games against the Razorbacks in Western Kentucky. So I think they'll still get a good bit of fans out there. It's still LSU football at the end of the day, and I'll be interested to see what that looks like. But I think more so for me, just I'm going to be more curious to see what they do on the field from a youth perspective. Which guys they lean into that they really kind of think are going to be the future of this program, and that I'm sure those conversations are already having. They just want them to stick around, for whoever this next coach is going to be, because I don't think LSU is going to strike out on all of their top guys. I think they're going to get somebody in here that's going to be really exciting for the future of the program, and I think a lot of the players are going to be receptive to that, and I think a big part of that is seeing their own growth and development on the field here over the next month.
And that brings up an interesting point that we've talked about a little bit on our show. Is one position in particular is the quarterback position. Obviously, much has been made of it all year, and Garrett Nussmeier won't be here for next season and whoever the next coach is. Now, I don't think that Nussmeier is just going to be benched and not close out the season, because obviously he's going to want to put some better film out there for what's next for him. But how interested are you in the way that kind of plays out over this next month of the season and the direction they go, kind of to your point about youth and the future?
It's a great question. I don't get the feel that Nussmeier or any of these guys are going to sit out. That was a question that was posed to Frank Wilson yesterday, point blank, and he said no, they haven't heard of any player opt-outs or anything of that nature, and they expect to have all their guys here going forward as they continue to get healthier. But I think Nuss is going to play in the big games. I think you'll see him out there against Alabama. I think you'll see him against Oklahoma. I think you'll see him against Arkansas. I could see a world here, though, where that Western Kentucky game comes and LSU wants to maybe have a half for Michael Van Buren, something of that nature. I think they could certainly work that in. And I think yesterday they also said that they had a 20-play scrimmage, which was really just a bunch of the young guys getting a chance to play and getting a chance to have some good practice tape on their belts and getting a chance to go through the motions of a game, of more of a scrimmage practice-like setting. And Frank said a bunch of the older veteran players were very encouraging and very complimentary of those and supportive of those younger guys getting that opportunity. And so I do think we'll probably see maybe a little bit more of a youth movement, but I don't know that it'll come at the quarterback spot. I think they'll lean more into Harlan Berry. I think they'll lean more into Trey'Dez Green. I hope they can lean into a little bit more of these younger offensive linemen to see what they look like here in the future. I think on the defensive side of the ball, DJ Pickett is going to continue to get a massive amount of reps. Dominic McKinley, Ahmad Bro, some of these younger second-year, first-year players, I could see certainly getting more and more opportunities here as the season comes to a close, and I think that's what you need, right? If you're LSU and you have one eye towards finishing the season off the right way, but also knowing that these next 4 games are really important for a lot of these younger pieces that you hope to have back next year.
And when you look at this job opening, obviously there's a lot of conversation about it being the best job that's available. And that LSU is going to take swings at some of the big names, like you said. Where do you see this going? The direction that LSU heads, maybe in their search, or where do you think this job is viewed, maybe in coaching circles or just nationally, compared to Florida, Penn State, and some of those other openings?
I think it's the best job that's open currently. I think there's just something about having the hub of Louisiana recruiting kind of here in your backyard. It's a state that just continuously proves that it can produce some of the best athletes and some of the best players in the country. You look even this last cycle at guys like Nate Shepard, who went out of state and is now a big time prospect over at Duke and doing some really good things over there. He as a true freshman, and he was one of the low guys on the totem pole in Louisiana recruiting last year. It just seems like there's always that wealth of players that you are coming out of the state and that love this state and for the most part want to play in this state. And so I think that is very attractive for head coaches who have to go out and recruit and certainly build relationships with all kinds of players from all around the country, but having that kind of nucleus and base in Louisiana, I think is something that is very hard to turn away if you're a young coach. I think for this particular job, and something that's maybe stood out to me and maybe won't mean much, but LSU has kind of consistently gotten older with their coaching hires the last couple of times. I mean, they went from Nick Saban, who was in his late 40s, to Les Miles, who was maybe in his late 40s, early 50s. Orgeron was in his early 50s when he got the job. And then, BK here most recently was in his 60s when he got the job. I would love to see some youthful energy in here. I'm not saying you go hire a 32, 33-year-old guy with not a whole ton of experience, but if you have a coach out there, and there are plenty of them who are in their mid to late 30s, early 40s, who are really good with this current model of college football and have been coaching in it for longer than maybe some of or have been coaching in it or coming up in it as with as opposed to some of these older coaches who have maybe had to rework their own strategy of how to adapt to this new college football landscape. I would be on board with that. I think that's something that they're going to certainly consider. In terms of names, I mean, you guys know all of them. I mean, Clark Lee, Kenny Dillingham, Eli Drinkwitz. I mean, there's a whole bunch of other coordinators and young guys in the college and NFL world that I think would make a lot of sense. But I think they'll start with Lane. I think they'll start with Lane Kiffin. I think they'll start by taking some big swings and seeing what could certainly come down the pike after that. I think there's a lot of guys out there that are going to be interested in this LSU job, and LSU's going to go into a lot of those meetings and conversations knowing that it's going to probably take a lot to pull some of those top names from where they're at currently. And I think you make that decision on Sunday with Brian Kelly, knowing that that's going to be a part of this as well.
And you talk about obviously there's a coaching search, and after LSU, a lot of talk about the buyout, how much money LSU is going to pay. Regardless of all of that, if it is the full fat amount that you have to lop off, do you think that impacts LSU's coaching search at all, or is there still, like you said, a blank check to be able to go get whoever you want?
No, I don't think it will, because, I mean, I at the end of the day, I think LSU is paying Brian Kelly, but it's through the money of private donors. And so it's not like LSU itself is cutting the $54 million check or however many millions it's going to be here over the next 6-7 years. Like, these are private donors who are putting up their money knowing that they want to go get the next right guy. And I think those private donors, are making that decision knowing that, hey, we got to go pay the next guy too. And so and I think that's a very aggressive move from this donor base to make that call at this point. But it's, I think they knew going in, we're going to have to pay off Brian Kelly. We're going to have to pay off his staff. We're going to have to pay the next guy. We're going to have to pay the next staff. We're going to have to pay the next roster. I think you don't make that move unless you understand that this is going to be a $100 million investment that you are making as a donor base or whoever is putting up or floating that money for the next however many years. This was a decision that came together quickly, but certainly has a lot of financial power behind it, and something that's going to have to take place here as LSU goes forward and looks for their next head coach.
And do you think that any of the thought process was, obviously you saw Tiger Stadium, you saw the way in which it was trending, that even if you're LSU and you have to invest, maybe take a loss early to invest this money or put this money up for a new head coach, it was almost the way that LSU runs this, or runs the state. And if it's almost at operating, I won't say at a loss, but not bringing in the same amount of revenue, that they looked at and go, look, if we're not going to be able to get people in the stadium, we're raising ticket prices, we're raising parking pass prices. It's like they have to have a product that they want to come see, and this might be the best time to do it. Yeah,
it's a fair point. I think that announcement for the ticket pricing was certainly
interesting.
Interesting, yeah, to say the least. It was maybe not the most timely way, timely place to put that out. But look, I think at the end of the day, LSU's going to have to just make the best decision for it and go find their next bigwig guy. And I think the fans are still going to show up. If Brian Kelly was returning next year, I still think the fan base would show up for LSU football, because the fan base loves LSU football more than it loves any one person that's in that head coaching position right now. But it's a very fair point to make. I think now that you have made that decision and you're obviously going to go out and get the best guy that you can for this job, and hopefully build a roster that's competitive as early as next year with the NIL and all the reasons that you can build a program quickly in this day and age, then there will be some excitement going into next year. I think that is the case every time you make one of these coaching decisions at the very top in football. And I think a lot of the fans will definitely turn out in a big way next year for sure.
I think if they brought the border supervisors back for the Arkansas game, it might be a different reaction than it was on Saturday.
Yeah, very, very true. Look, I think Frank Wilson he knocked that first press conference out of the park. And like I said, if 25% of the message that he conveyed yesterday is reaching to the players, then I think it's a big win for LSU in the final month, because I think these players are going to play for him, and they're going to play for those three letters, and they're going to play for their futures too. These guys understand what the business is. They understand that they're playing in front of 32 NFL teams. They're playing in front of 100 and whatever other college programs out there that could want their services in the portal, and they could be playing for playing time next year if they decide to return. So there's still a lot for this group to play for. Just maybe not the big tippy top expectations that they had hoped to hit in the preseason.
Well, Glenn, we appreciate your time this morning. What can everybody expect over at Go 24/7 in this hectic time?
Yeah, we've got lots of stuff up, guys. Lots of hot board conversation, lots of coaching conversation, lots of what this team's going to look like over the next month conversation. We're our message boards are blowing up for sure, and we'd love to have anybody over there. We're actually currently running a 75% off deal for the next year on the site. So you sign up today, you get 75% off your first year. So we got a lot of great stuff over at the site, and hope you'll come check us out and come hang out with us. But thank you guys for having me.
Yep, thank you. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, see you soon.
Yep. There he is, Glenn West from Go 24/7. 75% off right now. If I were you, I would take advantage of that discounted price.
Go 247.
They have great stuff going up at Go 24/7.
I couldn't imagine running a message board and seeing the conversation from Saturday to Sunday, be like, oh, the tenor of the board has changed quite a bit. It used to, that it had to be. I mean, obviously everybody knows about Tiger droppings and On 3 and Go 247. There's a litany of places you can go, and there was not one good thing you could read about LSU. One says like, "Where's the positive?" Like, no, don't even bring up the P word, the positive word. I'm not only sure I'm HIV positive that nothing good was going on, and then you get the announcement on Sunday. It's like, oh, the tide has turned.
Right.
It
Here
really
we
was
go.
like,
Let's
I mean,
do it.
I was not excited to do this show Monday through Friday from 7 to 9 and just talk about a dead man walking. Like, I was ill.
Right.
Like, it makes me sick.
No, I was nervous. I wasn't nervous. I was not looking forward in the same way that I have on Sundays to sitting down with Roe and Jeremy when we did on Sunday. And then they started, because I knew I was going to see them upset. I was going to see them heartbroken.
Roe was as despondent.
I've never seen
anybody could get it.
Disgusting.
I didn't even talk. I wasn't talking to him.
No, he was angry. But we appreciate Glenn for joining us this morning. Don't forget, every single day we are brought to you by AJ Sports Cards right there on Drusilla Lane. AJ Sports Cards at 3348 Drusilla Lane. Make sure you go follow them on Facebook. The name is AJ Sports Cards, and it'll specify that it's in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You can see their hobby boxes, retail, graded cards, singles, Pokemons, and supplies. Follow them on Instagram, AJ Sports Cards 225BR. Their social media is great. Check them out. They keep you updated on everything they've got going on. They have an event coming up in December. And Elite Football Academy is where that will be located. We swung by their last one that they had at the Crown Plaza.
Packed.
And it was packed. And so if you want to be a part of what they've got going on, just go check them out at their store, 3348 Drusilla Lane. Shout out to AJ Sports Cards. They've taken care of us since day number one. They bet on Tingle & Co. before we even got started. And so we want to make sure we go take care of them. So if you are looking for some memorabilia, some merchandise, some cards, some Pokemon, go to AJ Sports Cards. Check them out. Follow them on their social media. We will take a quick break here and come back to close out hour number 2 on this beautiful Wednesday, October morning.
I want to holograph Frank Wilson.
Wardos was created in honor of Alan Ward Granning III, fondly known by family and friends as Wardo. In 2019, the oldest brother of the tribe passed away unexpectedly. His remaining siblings and loved ones wanted to honor his memory in a special way. In 2022, Ward's family decided to combine the need for a sandwich shop in downtown Natchez with a desire to pay tribute to Ward's love of good friends, good times, and great food. Through blood, sweat, tears, and countless hours of hard work, Wardo's was born. So go visit Wardo's today at 309 North Broadway Street in Natchez, where the po' boys are so good, you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
Hey, Miss Lou, come visit us, Tom and Wright Granding at Go Martin on the Go Deli.
Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need.
Located at the corner of Highland Boulevard and Highway 61 South in Natchez.
Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff.
Where everyone is family.
When it comes to your home, the roof over your head matters. At CAS Roofing, we don't just install shingles, we build peace of mind. With years of experience and a commitment to craftsmanship, our team shows up on time, gets the job done right, and treats every project like it's our own home. Whether it's a repair, a replacement, or a storm damage that caught you off guard, CAS Roofing is ready. We're local, we're dependable, and we stand behind every nail, every shingle, and every promise we make. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about roofing, it's about protecting what matters most. CAS Roofing, built on trust, backed by quality.
response. It's an all call.
It's a call to action.
It's a call to action. And LSU, when you get between the lines, what can happen, Lloyd?
Anybody can get it.
Anybody can get it. When you get between those lines, the sirens that Frank Wilson has brought to LSU, the response that will follow. I'm excited for what the next month will look like, which is not at all what I would have said, 72 hours ago?
Oh, it's been
96 hours ago. And after there was nothing, I was excited for nothing Saturday night.
When I got the alert for alert, Mike, we coming for that ass. but I saw like the Frank Wilson presser pop up on my phone. I was like, oh
yeah. That'll do the trick.
And everything turned all the tricks.
Yeah,
that was refreshing. I just forgot what it could feel like.
I mean, we were like that. We said it yesterday. But we were starving, like literally starving for just passion and care. And then you got fed yesterday. Everything you needed and more.
It was like a homemade meal yesterday. That was like eating on a homemade meal for the first time in a while.
That was like first meal after prison.
Yeah, you literally hadn't eaten for years.
It's like the Unbroken
and then
story.
there's a Caniac combo sitting right there. Shout out to Todd Graves.
Mm-hmm.
That you can just go to town on.
You're away at sea. You're eating raw, disgusting
gruel.
Fish. You're getting sick. You're emaciated, and then you get back. You just chow down on
grade A vagine.
Sicko. But shout out to Frank, man. I'm excited. It's just like I said. It's crazy that I'm using that word to talk about what LSU football has in front of them. But I am excited for what's going to be put on the field, man. Because
I really couldn't even begin to fathom if this decision wasn't made, and it was going to be we're poor. We have to wait.
Right.
2 years until it's palatable for us to be able to kick the man out. I don't know what would have happened.
It would have been weird too, because you would be like, everybody would know the day that the contract comes down another.
Yeah, it would have been a countdown.
Yeah, no, it literally would have been a countdown.
And it would have been
which would have been horrible.
Not only that, it'd be so embarrassing.
It would have ruined LSU.
Yeah, I don't see a world, and correct me if I'm wrong. There's not a world in which you would have turned this around.
No, I don't even because in all the opinions he had, the trust from the fan base had been lost. It looked like the relationship with the players had been lost, but more importantly, the money people, the people with the money, no longer were invested in the program. Which ultimately was why they were able to get the money people to say, you know what,
I'm pulling my stock out of Enron. Cut the check. I'm done taking a loss.
And it would have been, in the biggest way, a massive distraction to everything else going on. It would have been awful. And that's why it was the right decision, and you're in such a better place right now than you are. And that's because Frank Wilson is in charge right now, and he's on staff. And that's why, I think some people could probably take what I was saying earlier as me pushing for Frank to get the job. That's not what I was doing. I want to make sure we have context when we're talking about Frank Wilson, not disrespecting the man. But Frank Wilson knows what's best for LSU, and that's keeping Frank Wilson on staff. Frank Wilson on staff at all times is what's best for LSU, and whoever comes in next, they need to make sure they know that. Whoever the next head coach is, you don't let Frank Wilson leave. Frank Wilson should be wearing the purple and gold and being on LSU's staff and in that building until the day he's in the dirt. Frank Wilson is LSU through and through, should always be here. And that would be the biggest threat if Frank did become the head coach, is that ultimately then you become expendable in the way O is. Now, you would love to have O back as a D-line coach recruiting coordinator, but you can't because he was the head coach. And the way it ended, you had to fire him. Now you can't bring him back. That would be the worst thing that could happen with Frank. Because Frank needs to be on the staff forever. Literally until he passes. He needs to be on the staff forever. And the next head coach, I guarantee you they know that.
Dude, he's like the Pope. You're serving till you die, buddy, unless you resign or something.
No, but but it's not you're serving. It's I live to serve.
Yes.
I want to do this.
We'll pay you to do it. We want you to do it.
He would do it for free.
Does the Pope get paid?
No, the Pope's the richest man in the world.
He gets everything for free.
Right.
everything. They love you, Chrissy.
But no, I'm excited. Frank Wilson is on the LSU staff till the day he dies. And I think that would probably be the biggest knock against him when it comes to the head coaching job would be, well, no, that puts you in a vulnerable position, and we want you here forever. And you know who knows that? Frank Wilson. So I'm excited. Like once again, I think I'm gonna say that word a million times.
Excited
for what's to come because you are in such a better place. Such a better place.
What was BK's crutch? Christian? Relevant to, what was it?
Relative to. Of,
yeah.
What else?
Complimentary football.
Complimentary football.
And Frank, guess how many times he said complimentary football yesterday? I don't even know if I heard it once. You know what he did say? We're going to run the football.
He did. Well,
we're going to run the football.
It is our job as coaches to prepare our players to the level necessary.
That sounds like Les.
That was like a line he would say. No, that was BK.
Well, I mean, there are.
I've never watched Les, really.
Oh, what?
Because you didn't have the.
I never watched a lesser.
You didn't have the chest to watch a lesser presser.
Or I was just a little boy, you know, and like didn't know about press conferences and stuff.
Imagine like if like your formative years of learning the English diction was like watching Les Miles speak. And you're like, what's wrong with you? Why do you talk like
what
that?
What are you
talking about?
What do you mean I don't have the chest?
They'd put you in an insane asylum.
He's in kindergarten going, no, you don't have the chest to play with my Legos.
It's a totally different day. Like, are you the Riddler?
What are you talking about?
Oh, like a bowler.
Les's voice always found.
Or you learned the English language based off of Coach O's pressers.
That was going to happen. That's deeply.
It's like watching Teletubbies. It like sets you back.
Yeah.
You know? I actually had that issue. I would watch Teletubbies when I was a kid.
Oh my
God.
God.
Like, my mom was like, "Why isn't he like talking well yet?" And my grandma was like, "Because he watches Teletubbies every day."
So what were you talking like?
I wouldn't talk because I only knew like their alien language. Like that's just how it was.
God.
Nonverbal.
And then they put on Caillou.
That would be. It would be great if that had kicked back in.
I was thinking that yesterday when he just build back better. When he started spitting that out, I was like, maybe.
Just shut the fuck up.
Maybe hush up over there.
Hey, I balanced it out. I said, make LSU great again.
Yeah.
Bipartisan.
Got all sides. All right.
That polycom degree is really gonna come in handy. You might be the first one to get negative votes.
I don't think I've ever ran, so.
It looks like it.
Yeah. Fatty.
Tubby. Teletubby.
That's
Here
Noah. That's Noah. Really? Come on.
But no, I was thinking earlier, speaking of negative, there was like negative excitement going forward with LSU if they don't make this move. Like not zero excitement. You were in a place where you were like dreading football games, which should never be the case.
No, you get 7 of them a year at home, and that. I've had many a memory in Tiger Stadium,
Right.
most of which are positive, some of which that ranks number 2 as one of the lowest points, as the second lowest point of my life in that pantheon of concrete and steel. Yes, but at least that there was.
But
hope.
that one wasn't like that. The one you have ranked number 1 wasn't embarrassing.
No, it was just gut
heartbreaking.
It changed my life.
It did, which is understandable.
Yes,
but the second one was like
born in the darkness.
This like almost an embarrassment to like.
Oh,
like I'm walking around in public. I got Sailor Micro. I'm like, no, I'm not. That's not who I am. I don't ever want to be that disappointed.
Whenever LSU fans lose the
pride in the
want,
yes,
to fight,
yeah.
Like whenever you lose a football game, at least 3 or 4 you're taking with you, and they were just like, no, I might even sway with the people, and I was like, what is the best? Have you seen the video of them swaying and there's there's LSU fans, like 2 of them amongst the whatever that is. Yeah, Sabron Green. And they're just both at the camera going like this. And I was like, all right.
Those are my people.
Those are my people.
I love you.
I will not bow to this. You need to take my head.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was...
torture me all you want. You're not going to get my secrets.
Right, that was the worst part, was you were literally dreading LSU football moving forward.
I didn't know what to do.
And now it's completely just...
Well, it got so bad you were kind of looking forward to it in the sense that you wanted to see them keep losing because you hated Brian Kelly so much.
Yeah, you started to hate watch your love.
Like, yeah, that's where it gets toxic.
It's a hate watch.
That's where you commit a crime.
Yeah.
That's where you kill somebody.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or cheat on your wife, Brian Kelly.
Oh.
Oh,
Allegedly.
So allegedly.
You already exposed it. Man.
No, nobody said anything like that. You lost your privileges again.
We appreciate all of you joining us here on this Wednesday morning as we all bask in the glory of Frank Wilson as he leads the LSU Fighting Tigers forward through this next month, these remaining 4 games. And I'll tell you one thing. I don't know what it's going to look like from a scheme standpoint. I don't know what it's going to look like from a playing standpoint. But from a mentality standpoint, when they get between those lines, who can get it?
You're gonna get it.
Anybody can get it. And I'm excited to see the LSU Fighting Tigers look like LSU Fighting Tigers once again. And that's where I think they're going to be on Saturday against Alabama in a week and a half. Fighting Tigers once again, because what you saw in the second half was not Fighting Tigers against Texas A&M.
Have you ever been more excited for a 3-loss LSU team to take the field? I don't
3-loss. I was trying to think.
Maybe the UCF game.
Yeah, I mean that was.
But I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, 2023 against Florida,
Rolling
the Jaden game was exciting.
But you're rolling into Bama with 3 losses. I don't think.
No, I'm telling you, if Alabama. Now, I'm not saying they should be scared or concerned or worried. You're not feeling as comfortable as you were on Sunday. Like there is a different team coming to town.
And if we feel like this, imagine that, like, trying to inspire a football team with that man. Like I've said, I've never seen him say anything inspirational once that wasn't fabricated or manufactured or something you could put on a T-shirt that was a jab. But I couldn't imagine loading up the bus, the plane, whatever, and then going to Bryant Denny for a night game being like, sure, we want to play, but I don't have any reason to think we can win. Now it feels like at least it'll be inspired football.
Yes.
And they're going to run the football. That did give me a little bit of Will Campbell.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
It sounded, I mean, it was the exact same line.
Mm-hmm.
But I look back at 2021 Alabama game. I mean, you gave Bryce Young, like Heisman Bryce Young and that team, everything that they could handle.
Oh, untucked O?
Untucked O, punch the fist pump on the sideline O, fake punt Avery Atkins O.
I've never seen anything like
I've
that.
never seen anything like that.
Listen, this is why we still love him, because you got to see the version of him that has the little boy.
Yes.
That has cheered for LSU his entire life, and I get to coach as a fan. It was like somebody won a raffle. And he's like, "You can coach LSU today." Like, okay, are you sure? Because I'm going to coach it the way that I am in the stands.
And that's what he
I'm
did.
untucking my shirt. Fuck you, first down. It was insane. And it almost worked.
It almost worked. He almost won
He almost willed that thing to victory, like just through sheer will. Like,
yes.
No game plan.
No.
We blitz all night. It was just, y'all have no idea what's coming. Because he played, Nick Saban's like, I'm coaching against a crazy person.
Psychopath.
He could go for it on 5th down.
There's
like,
no chess match. There's no strategy going on here. I'm just going up against a
beat
psycho.
your ass.
Yeah.
It's like it's on PCP. You ever seen somebody fight on PCP?
Yeah, it's Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson. Like, where it's like Floyd's trying to like pick apart what, and Mike is just
hit me more. I like it.
It was unbelievable.
It was a spectacle, for sure. God,
it was awesome.
What
man.
a legend.
Absolutely awesome. But we appreciate everybody getting in here this morning. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your friends and family, and take a stranger's phone. Subscribe for them. They'll appreciate it. Make sure you leave a comment after we shut the stream down this morning.
Oh.
It is time to go 13 for 13 here on this beautiful Wednesday as we pull up the athletic connections. We roll that into the trivia right after.
It'll be UTSA, McNeese State,
Yep.
LSU,
Yep.
and St. Aug.
Yeah. And hey, we would know exactly what it is. Imagine if that's what's on there. That would be awesome.
He deserves it.
He does deserve it. I love him. I'd run through a wall for that man.
If they did it like, well, you know, where do they bury like the? I guess it's like the presidents or the popes or like the. Yeah, like if LSU had like. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. I think if there's a plot, he should have one. When it's all said and done, I mean, you could put him in the end zone. If we're not.
The problem with that is you have to bury everybody that's coached there.
No.
In that area. Yeah,
If
you would, because that's how it works at the other spots.
You're muted, so I can say this. Since we're not doing statues at LSU,
Right.
I think it would have to be burial plots, and that would be a very well bit of do. That's what you like. It's the highest honor.
Of course.
Above, well, below. Since we don't put names on the stadium either.
Right.
I don't know what we do, but I'm petitioning.
The dorms are still open in the stadium.
Goal! What if they did that?
That's what I was thinking.
Like, you know how you put like people
like
on the
shrines.
wall? Yeah.
It's like shrines almost.
That would be
in
awesome.
those dormitories.
And you go visit and give flowers, pray. The Church of Frank.
Saint Nick.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we'd have to. Old Saint Nick. He's not coming back. I love the conjecture, but that's
it's not going to happen.
Not happening.
Not gonna happen. Brian Burgess, I wish someone would have asked how the offensive philosophy is going to change. That's more of a next week question.
This was a get your flowers.
This was just then open the new era. Next week you're going to have press conferences that prepare you for the football game, and that's where you'll get probably more of the scheme and strategy type questions. But let's connect athletically here on this beautiful morning. We've got, let's see.
Hot dogs,
cotton candy, peanuts.
Yeah, beer.
Yep.
Cold beer. Oh, what about colas?
No, they don't go down like all of those things are things that. Hot dogs.
Yeah, hot dog.
Cold beer.
Cold beer.
That's what they're walking up and down the.
I do have okay.
Showing. Okay. What do you have?
This is almost blasphemy because there's no bigger advocate for a tiger dog than me. What happened to the thing I loved? It was appropriate as to how the game was. And I tried everything. I tried rally dogs, and then I tried other things.
Right.
But I go to get like if there's I was like maybe this at least it'll be nostalgic, something that I like to enjoy. Secret dog, and I was like I'll get one for my brother. Like we'll do rally, and like this could bring LSU back. Open it up, and it was you couldn't eat it, and I still tried. I took 2 bites. I took the first bite, and we looked at it like oh no. I was like I don't know when this might have been cooked last week.
That was very different for me. You know how many hot dogs I had on Saturday?
Probably one for every point A&M scored.
No, 7.
Really?
Yeah, I had 7 dogs.
They have
stressful. It was a stressful night, Lloyd.
Hey, you got to find your pleasure somewhere.
And it was in.
I couldn't even get a dog.
I couldn't even have one dog.
That sucked too.
Yeah.
But
and then we've got
things are changing.
Purple People Eaters, the Steel Curtain, the Legion of Boom, and Orange Crush.
That was the Minnesota Vikings. Little Caesars, Smoothie King, Barclays, United.
Bang.
Let's go. Pell's mentioned.
Yes, Pell's mentioned. Shout out to Fire Willie Green.
Fire.
They're going to start.
Fire. Billy
Young won every second. How about you shut up, Bill?
They do have dollar dogs, and I almost did this too because I had such a bad taste at Rouse's. Wow. It's just and they have dollar chicken nuggets, which I'd assume they're on the back end of their career. The chicken nuggets and the dogs are probably not long for this life. If you're gonna eat it, you should probably eat it that day or in the store and just keep it moving.
Yeah.
Or have a sight line to a restroom. But they're from Nathan's.
You've been spurned many a times by the Albertson dollar chicken wings.
Yeah, no, that's buy 1 get 3 free. They're not chicken wings; they're chicken breasts.
Chicken breasts.
And I have, and I continue to do it.
You do continue to do it,
and I'll do it again.
And I know the mornings.
Oh,
in
yeah.
which you had them the night before.
And it's just, I don't know why I put myself through it. Because
It's okay.
they're, no, I won't even say they're good.
Why you, am I still muted?
Not anymore.
Really? Bro.
Here we go. 9 for 9 here. In the,
I did.
he did. Then you said, here we go, and he muted it back.
He muted me.
Is
Oh
that
my
Alec
gosh.
Baldwin?
It's Alec Baldwin, and then it's, he's got 3 names.
It's 2 men?
Yeah, I believe.
That'd be a real shame if it wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's-
that's Gordon Levitt.
Yes. Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
John?
Josh?
We're just going to put Levitt.
Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph.
Yes. And Alec
And-
Baldwin.
Are we sure it's Alec Baldwin?
Yes.
Okay.
That's that. I know that hair.
Mm-hmm. He's had an interesting run lately.
He has.
He got in a, I think he hit something with his wife's car and then went on Twitter for like a 10-minute talk about it. It's like, nobody has to know about this.
Just
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving, Alec. Well,
Uh-oh. This Packer.
this Packers outside linebacker totaled 83.5 sacks and made 6 Pro Bowls from 2009 to 2018.
This is Clay Matthews.
I would believe that would be Clay Matthews.
That was a fun time. That's when football was fun.
Football's still fun.
It is, but I just remember, I watched more intently then.
In the 2018 World Series, the Dodgers won an 18-inning Game 3 against this team.
Oh, we should definitely know. I mean, shit. They talked about it the entire
Is it
broadcast.
not the Red Sox?
That was the Yankees, Red Sox.
Well, but I felt like I thought the Red Sox won in 18.
Did they? I don't know.
I'm trying to think. I know they won in 16. I thought 18 was the Price year. When David Price
Did he
was
pitch
pitching.
like? I think he pitched like twice.
Yeah.
I can do that.
18. I know. I
Oh,
don't
I
remember.
was gonna type in David Price.
I don't remember this game, but I remember. I feel like the Red Sox won in 2018. Yeah. Because they won in 16 after the marathon bombing as like a.
That's how you know it's rigged.
Yeah.
Apropos use of the word.
Carlos Boozer played at this school. It's Duke.
It's Duke.
And Cameron Boozer is a player.
What's wrong with Caden?
He's good. He's just not as good. Cameron is a dog.
Here you go, Christian.
In 1929, there was a fire in the West Wing of the White House while this man was U.S. president. Do you know the president in 19?
I'm muted, so.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. He just unmuted you.
I was muted before that.
And he just clicked it to unmute you.
Mute me back.
The president in 1929, let me think.
Oh, big hoobs. Didn't Hoover have the gigantic dong?
Oh, it was what? Herbert Hoover?
Bear Hoover.
Hoover? Yeah, Bear Hoover. This soda brand is currently doing a cross promotion with the candy brand Trolley, where there are trolley versions of their soda and vice versa. So, I mean, obviously it's got to be like it's not going to be.
Well, you've had the Coke bottle candies,
Yeah.
They come in the Star Mix. Outing myself.
You are.
But those aren't Trolley. Those are Haribo.
Harbo. Trolley is like the
gummy.
Is like the gummy
Brian
one.
Burgess, Mountain Dew.
Oh, that says it is fitting for Mountain Dew.
I don't know if I want to do the Dew.
Do the Dew with a trolley?
With the trolley. With David Fincher as a frequent director. This cult favorite Netflix show ran from 2017 to 2019 and followed the founding.
Is it
Oh, is this a Mindhunter?
Yeah, I was about to say Mindhunter. It's got the singing guy in it.
Have you seen Gein? Ed Gein?
No, I haven't watched it, but I've heard a lot about it.
Not as graphic as people say.
Okay. That's good. People were talking about it, and it was frightening me.
I didn't make all the... I mean, I've only seen 2 episodes,
Okay.
but he's really funny.
Nice.
It's a great voice to do. Oh, got you again.
While he gained fame as a musician, this man directed horror films in the 2000s like House of a Thousand Corpses, The Devil's Rejects, and a Halloween reboot. So he was a musician turned director? Jonathan would know this in a heartbeat.
Oh, in a heartbeat.
Mindhunter was a really good show.
Oh, they're sugar-free.
Rob
They can be.
Zombie.
Oh, cool.
What a name.
Shout out to both Alex and BB. Zombie, zombie. You gotta feel that heat.
We can ride the boogie, share that beat of love. Our lyrics from this 1979 Michael Jackson song.
Beat it.
That was not 1979.
Just beat it, beat it, beat it. 3, 2.
You got to feel that,
Michael
heat, and we can ride the boogie.
Oh, rock with you. Michael Jackson had a legendary drip before he really let it go. But he looked awesome.
Oh my, yeah. He looked great.
Aura.
You agree, Christian? Yay or nay?
Michael Jackson.
Did Michael Jackson have aura?
Young Michael.
Yeah, but Young Boy had more. Young Boy is the Michael Jackson of this generation.
Oh. I'm surprised he didn't take you backstage after the concert.
Yeah, you could say that, I guess. Young Boy does have 10 kids.
I thought he had 6 or 7 kids.
What was your South Park?
Oh, blanket. Everybody take a picture, blanket. No, don't run. Come back to daddy, blanket.
We appreciate you guys hanging out with us here on this Wednesday morning as we close out the month of October and get ready for LSU football. Because November's for contenders? Yeah, there we go. Let's contend in November. Shout out to Frank Wilson. We love you, Frank. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 7 to 9 a.m., and we'll see you then.
It's Tingle and go from 7 to 9. Come keep with the show.